Alright, hey travelers, Chris here for unmatchedvoyages.com with another review. We are in Doha, Qatar. It's a beautiful 35 degrees right now and we're checking out the Andaz Doha. I'm really excited about this property. It just opened a couple of months ago, so it's brand new. Not the building itself, they renovated it, but it looks quite promising on the pictures, so I can't wait to see what it's like. So let's head inside and find out. Alright, so let's have a quick look as always where the Andaz Doha is. Qatar itself and also Doha are not very big places, so you can find most of the things you want to see kind of in this central area of Doha. You have the airport here quite close by, and if we see where the Andaz is, it's basically in the central business district here. And what's interesting is that you have the Corniche, which is kind of a really nice park slash sea promenade right around here as well, so you can easily walk over, and it's a really nice area to be in. From the airport it takes around 20 minutes, taxi is around $10 or so it's very convenient to get there. The Andaz itself comes in this kind of nice looking, slightly old looking building. As mentioned, it is not a new building, but they renovated it beautifully inside, especially when you come into the lobby and you have this big kind of red, ceiling, umbrella, something. They really nail it with the decor, I think. I love these red spots. It's very kind of typically Andaz style. If you know the design, then you can already see how it just fits really well, also with this little art piece. So we were really excited to go up to the 15th floor where our room was. Side note, besides this, is that these doors were always closed and it said emergency only, so that was a bit irritating. But anyway, let's see what the room is like. Hey guys, we are excited to now being able to offer you special travel agency rates when you book your next hotel stay with us at over 4,000 luxury hotels worldwide, including all of the big hotel brands you know. And besides these amazing benefits that you get at every stay, at no extra cost to you, you immediately also see your booking in your hotel app or account, and you only pay at the end of your stay. And of course, for all status and loyalty point enthusiasts in the audience, you also earn points and status nights on these rates, and you get all your regular status benefits as well. So there's really no reason not to book your next stay with Unmatched Voyages. So if you're curious, check it out at unmatchedvoyages.com/booking, or you can just click the link in the video description below. So now back to the video. Alright, so let me show you around a king bedroom with sea view here at the Andaz. Before you come in, you can already see kind of the wardrobe area. Now we always struggle a bit because we bring pretty big suitcases and it's not super deep here, but technically at least you should be able to get your suitcases in order. I think this is the highlight for the room in general once you come in, because you have a lot of these like really light color tones. You have this super nice red, which kind of resembles the Qatari flag, and also these patterns on the wall. And I think they really nailed it design-wise. It looks very modern and yet elegant. You have this absolutely massive TV on the wall, which is really nice. In front of this, you get some sweets as kind of like a little welcome. And then also, as always, you have an espresso machine. Side note on that one, because I do quite like that they kind of use more local Nespresso capsules. I guess that's more common now, but the problem is you never know what they exactly are. And so, for example, the golden one we just made is actually Arabic coffee, which is quite different. I wish they would write it on there, but anyway. Usually in Andaz hotels you have the minibar included. It's the same here, but you can see that there's not much included. You get water, which you get anyways. We have these two little pairs of snacks, so right now a little bit disappointing, I have to say. Besides that, you get a really nice view. Of course, it's the sea view, meaning you can see the Bay of Doha. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but you can definitely see the water, and I think it looks really nice. It's quite open, not very blocked by other buildings, and of course the window is massive. You also get a pretty big kind of couch table area. It's quite unusual to have such a big table, I would say. So if you come here, I don't know, with kids also, you want to play some board games, maybe it's perfect for that. And you can see the color scheme everywhere with this red. I think it's really nice. Besides that, of course, you have the bed. It's quite nice. It's definitely quite comfortable over here. Bit on the harder side, but I think that's okay. And then what I like, since this is a fairly new hotel, is that all of the switches, buttons and everything is kind of labeled with pictograms. It's very clear. You have right next to this very nice looking lamp, you have universal power plugs, you have USB-A, USB-C, everything. You can also control very easily the curtains from here. So yeah, it's nice because you don't have to worry about kind of doing it by hand afterwards. But now this is the kind of show effect where it's struggling a bit, but anyways, we managed. Okay, besides that you have the bathroom, and so you can enter it actually from the entrance area, or you can enter it right here from the side of the bed. Before that there's a panel for the AC and everything, and I really like it as well because it's very easy to kind of control. It's very clear touchscreen, really nice. I've never seen this type of lamp, by the way. It looks very cool. I love it. And then once we come through here, we come to the bathroom. Now again, the color scheme is always these little red dots in kind of a very bright white and beige colors. You get slippers by Andaz that are this very aggressive red, which we love. And then in the bathroom, you see everywhere these kind of black armatures. I think it gives a really nice contrast. So when you look at the bathtub, which unfortunately doesn't have windows, but it's definitely quite a big bathtub, you see again these black armatures, and I think it looks quite stunning. In terms of amenities, Andaz prides themselves usually on using local amenities, locally sourced ones. This one is by the different company. I don't know this company, but I hope it's gonna be nice. Besides that, you have a lot of space in general here. You have individual sinks for 2 people. You have this little kind of beauty table here that also reveals the hairdryer. So overall quite nice. Also this little red kind of seat, which is kind of a fun color tone. You then come over here and you find the shower. It's not massive in size, but I think again with these nice armatures, you get this really big rain shower, which I think is great. And it's also quite clear on how to control this. It's very simple with buttons. There's nothing too complicated about it, which I think we all appreciate. Finally, the last highlight is the toilet. Highlight in a sense because it's a fairly modern kind of Japanese toilet with a bidet function. So you have all the kind of options here. I think it's nice. It looks always nice, and for us who live in Japan, we're always happy about the Japanese toilet. But so that's it about the room. I think it really fits well into the whole kind of Andaz, color scheme and the modern vibe. You also have, these little kind of pieces of art and kind of funky color flashes everywhere. So the rooms are definitely beautiful. I can't wait to see how the rest of the hotel looks like. So let's head down to the Salt Road restaurant where the breakfast happens. This is a very nice looking restaurant, I have to say, and it always tastes better when you get the free breakfast thanks to the Unmatched Voyages hotels booking, so make sure to always book with us. Now, you have some dishes that you can order here a la carte, as you can already see, some savory and sweet dishes, and then of course there's a normal buffet. I have to say, selection-wise, it's quite decent, especially on the savory side. You have a lot of different things you can get. It was a little bit more limited on the fruit side, where I wish they had a bit more. It was just these little small bowls that were kind of constantly empty and being changed. But overall, I have to say the breakfast was quite good, really enjoyable, including the French toast, which was really beautifully done. Next, we go to the spa and swimming pool. We actually went to the spa by accident and then moved back because we were looking for the swimming pool that you get after going through this super long corridor. But I have to say again, the color scheme that Andaz is using here is really nice. It's very colorful, very poppy. You see the swimming pool is a little bit shaded by the buildings around it, which is really needed in Doha because you often have over 40 degrees like we had during our stay. There's also a little bar area here, but I guess it's not operational. And you have these kind of Doha, like Qatar flag colored furniture. So there's plenty of room to sit outside. It's quite nice. But as of now, it's not really catered with food or anything. So keep that in mind. Next, I want to show you the lounge, which is kind of a replacement for the social hour that you usually find in Andaz hotels, but the Andaz Doha does not have it as of yet. So they have this little kind of cafe area where you can have some small snacks, only water and tea and coffee, which, by the way, there's only water, tea and coffee in the entire hotel, nothing else, which is still a bit odd to me, but anyway, we went back to the Salt Road restaurant for dinner. It's the only restaurant that's open as of now. It is a soft opening, kind of. So we tried the food, of course, thanks to our hotel credit that we got from the rates we got from Unmatched Voyages hotels. And the food was very nice, I have to say. Unfortunately, there were a lot of service issues. I'll talk a little bit about it later, but let's just say I had to wait very long for my food. But the food was definitely very nice, although a bit expensive. All right, I gotta address one thing, the chips refill saga, because that's kind of like a highlight of what the service is like at the Andaz. Now, you get these chips in the minibar. The minibar is included in your rates. That's pretty much all there is in the minibar except for water. And we used them up and we wanted a refill yesterday evening. So after our dinner, we went to the reception. We asked, can we get a refill for the potato chips? No problem. 1 hour later, nothing happened. We were waiting in our room. So we called again. We called the reception. We said, hey, we'd like to get a refill on the potato chips. Okay, no problem. They called us back 5 minutes later from the in-room dining people. They asked, you wanted French fries? No, we don't want French fries. We want the plastic potato chips. So they said, okay, no worries. We will follow up on that. We waited another 40 minutes. We called again at the reception. We said, hey, it's been almost 2 hours now. Potato chips on their way by any chance? They'll follow up on it. All right. We talked at them in the meantime to like 3 different people at the reception. So it's not like one single person. We waited another half an hour and we said, look, it's getting late, we want to go to bed. So we called the reception again. We said, hey, don't bother bringing the chips anymore. It's been 2.5 hours. It's fine, we want to sleep. All right, sorry about that, they said. Okay. Another half an hour later, we get a knock and a ring at the door. There's someone, finally, even though we were sleeping already, with water and Nespresso capsules. Huh? We didn't order that at all. We want potato chips. Anyway, he was nice enough, and of course it's not his fault. He's just, acting on like the requests. But we asked for the potato chips. He said, okay, no worries. He got us 10 minutes later some potato chips, so we have them now here. We thought finally we can go to sleep, and then half an hour later, we were already asleep. We get another call from the reception asking if we got our potato chips now. We told them we were asleep. It took 3 hours for the potato chips. And I think that's just indicative of the service levels here at the Andaz right now. I know it's a soft opening, but it's really, really bad and across the line with so many people. So yeah, that's something I can't really visualize this in a video. So I just thought I would show you. But yeah, we fought really hard for the potato chips. All right, so after we had this big issue with the refill of the chips in the minibar, we came back to our kind of cleaned room, and we can definitely tell they don't refill the minibar. So I'm really curious. In all the Andaz hotels I've been to around the world, this is always kind of included, like a daily refill. So I want to check with them if that's the case.
Reception, I'm speaking my sister.
Yes, hi there. We just came back to our room and we noticed that the minibar was not refilled. Can I just check with you, is this a daily refill of the minibar items, or is this just a one-time thing?
It's daily. I'm sorry they didn't do it. I will call them right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye. So, it's 6:05 now. Let's see how long it takes. All right, it's now 6:35, so half an hour later, someone actually came and brought us coffee capsules again. I don't know why they keep on giving us coffee capsules, but anyway, come in. After After asking multiple times, we finally got the potato chips. Yay. But yeah, service is rough. Alright, there's more things. I don't want to bore you too much with the details, but we had to come down from our room. Our suitcase was x-rayed and they were complaining that there was alcohol detected in the suitcase, which just turned out to be a small bottle of perfume, which anyone should probably carry. We didn't really get an upgrade at all, despite our globalist status and despite the hotel being basically unoccupied, below 30%. We were promised water at the pool and didn't get it. We were asked if we wanted lemon with our water at the restaurant. We never got it. We asked the waiter. We specifically said that we wanted 2 of the same dish, as I showed you earlier. And we specified it really twice with the waiter. And they still only brought us 1 dish at first, even though they compensated us with free dessert. So at least there's that. So yeah, this brings me to my conclusion. The hard product, the hotel itself, the rooms, the furniture, the design, everything's really nice and I can see the potential of the hotel. However, as of now, and it's a brand new hotel, the service is an absolute catastrophe. From the check-in, reception, restaurant, pool, everywhere, nothing works. I would strongly suggest, if you're considering going to Doha and you're sticking with the world of Hyatt, definitely check out the Park Hyatt Doha. It's a fantastic property. We'll bring out the review soon of that. And give the Andaz Doha maybe a year or at least 6 months for them to kind of get the service checked out. It was really atrocious, I have to say. And my wife, who's usually way more forgiving, really pointed out that this was one of our worst stays. So really, yes, it's cheap, but the Park Hyatt Doha is actually not much more expensive usually. So definitely check that out when you come. And as always, thanks so much for watching, guys. Sorry for the rants, but I had to share. And yeah, as always, I'll see you in the next one. So cheers.